Hello everyone, Felix and I are here to walk you through Project 2 and the analysis of your Project 2 findings from your interviews and the 3 texts that you collected. You want to say hi, Felix? Hi!
Hi.
You want to tell them how you are doing school at home too?
I'm doing school at home too.
Yeah, are your schools closed?
Yeah.
Yeah, but have we been having a good time?
Yeah. Even my old school is closed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, Mommy's going to start talking to them about the project, okay?
Okay.
You can stay with me or you can go see Daddy. Up to you.
I want to go to Daddy.
Okay, perfect. I love you.
I just want to.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to.
Okay, so for this, you have, if you haven't already, interviewed somebody and located 3 texts that are typically used on a daily basis at the site that you visited, then you want to reach out to me so that we can chat about that and make that happen. Potentially, probably just with an interview and stuff with me. So you should have already gone to the site and interviewed somebody and collected the 3 texts. And so the next step is to look at those texts and start to do some analysis. And so, let's go back to the course. So you had a series of questions that you'll need to answer, and those questions were meant to kind of outline the entire assignment for you. So if you remember, what we did was we looked over, let's see here, the rhetorical genre analysis document, which should be in Project 2. So in this document, you had a series of questions asking you to look at the genre. So start with a brief discussion, subject topic of the 2 genres, describe what you believe the intended purpose is, who the audience is, the context, purpose, any type of rhetorical issues or kind of markers that you see, the structure, language, patterns that are common between them, right? So this should be something that you're using, the rhetorical genre analysis document, which should be in Project 2 in the files. If you were to go through and answer these questions, this would be pretty much an outline of your Project 2. And so each of these would be a heading that you would have in your essay so that you would organize and then you would respond to these questions. Now, for the most part, what I've been seeing is some people are doing a pretty good job of describing the genre and kind of talking about the purpose of it, but they're doing it in a rather kind of vague approach where they're not actually using the genres, the text that they've collected as evidence for that. So what I'd like to do is go through 2 documents that I actually had to create just recently for a bunch of work that I've been doing with committees for online transitioning and support and so forth. So one I had to do was for the Wayne State Writing Center. And so this document and some various forms are on our website, as well as the coronavirus site for students. And some of it's disseminated amongst other committees and so forth. So for this, if I were to do an analysis of this text, right, not that this is a typical text, but at the moment, I guess it is, I would do an analysis where I would read through this text and I would start to see the structure of it, right? So if you see the structure, you'll see the first portion of this is kind of like an announcement or a message. And I know that because it talks about a specific kind of like location. It talks about a specific type of support system that will be provided. It provides dates, right? And then it talks about the use of these services and alternative uses if necessary. So if I were to do an analysis of this, I would say that I know this is in some way an announcement and or an informational sheet or page for students, because it kind of says, we've changed to online tutoring only. Here's what that type of online tutoring looks like. And here's the reason for doing so. So I may pull out things, like I said, I might pull out sentences such as, what is the type of tutoring provided, the access to that tutoring, the ability to do an alternative type of tutoring if necessary, dates, all of these things I would pull out to say, this shows that this is some type of change or announcement of a change of a previous or current support system. And then obviously I know that this also is an announcement and some type of an informational page, because I have bolded sections, and then it even says to me the following covers guidelines or policies. And then it kind of says, here's these policies. You must schedule an appointment using our scheduling system or other forms of access for scheduling. And then it goes into, if you wish to engage in synchronous appointments, this is what they are, and here's some kind of like material for you to look over so that you have a better understanding of what those appointments are. So there's tutorials, there's videos. So I would talk about the fact that this is a multimodal document, and that this document is multimodal because it is an informational kind of announcement or support document for students as they transition into using some type of service in a different way, right? And so I would talk about why there would be videos, why there would be handouts and tutorials, and what that provides for the audience, what kind of action the audience is supposed to do, or how they're supposed to use those. And then it has a step-by-step process, right? And it even says process of using online tutoring appointments is 1 through 6. And so therefore, I would kind of go through there and talk about how each of them is sequential. You must start with 1 and end with 6, right? And then it ends by saying, you know, if you can't engage in a face-to-face real-time appointment, you can do asynchronous. And again, it tells you how to make that process happen, step by step of how to do that. And then it ends with, our goal is to provide you with these services. If you need any additional assistance, contact the director, and a thank you. So you can see that this is a document that has a very specific structure. It has a very specific purpose, which is to inform the reader of a change, to inform the reader of how to navigate that change, the steps to do so, additional material for moving to this new form of support or a new form of service, alternatives to that if necessary, and then kind of a thank you for your consideration, the person who sent it. So this weird announcement, information letter kind of, you know, text or genre. And so going through and actually pulling out some of the phrases or, you know, dates or links or why those links are in there, emails, step by step why that's there, that would be the type of analysis that I would hope to see. So not just, here's this text, here's who uses it, here's where it's located, here's the purpose, but here's some examples from the text that proves that this is for a particular audience and for a particular use with particular actions required by the user, right? Another text that was created just recently was, I'm working with a committee all across campus that provide students with services, and so all of the directors are working together to create continuity plans